I mean, even in your career, you were fortunate enough to be on some legendary secondaries and some, obviously some great organizations. And from the Packers, you went to the Giants, and you played with guys like Aaron Ross, who's a Texas legend, and then Antro Roll, who's a Miami legend, and then obviously the defensive line that you had, Justin Tuck, Notre Dame guy, of course, and then Pierre Paul, but other guys on the other side of the ball, Eli, Nix, Cruz, just a great roster. And you were on a team that won the Super Bowl, that defeated Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Right.
Talk about just that season, and coming from a team, an organization like the Packers, the secondary that you had, to now entering this roster, and a Super Bowl roster where it might have looked even slim for you and the organization during the season, but you guys pulled it out. You beat one of the best teams ever, assembled one of the best seasons ever. And so kind of just talk about that transition, and what maybe the Packers, or that experience with the Packers, did for you coming over into the Giants.
Yeah, well, my experience with the Packers was tough because I had an injury plagued career when I was in Green Bay. I mean, I was at IR like twice. I had 3 surgeries when I was in Green Bay. And so I had a bad knee injury in 2009. So I remember going into the season, I ended up signing a tender, for like 1.5, whatever, going to 2010. My knee wasn't fully healthy, because I did the ACL, MCL, LCL. I did everything to it. And so I ended up moving to safety, which is what they say. When you slow down, you move to safety. And so that year, my knee just didn't hold up. And so I didn't really have a good preseason. So the tough thing is, despite that, I ended up getting released at a settlement, and so now I'm out of a job in 2010. I remember waking up the next day, and then my wife, she had a dream like the Giants called, and I was like, what are you talking about? And so, sure enough, 20 minutes later, my agent calls. He's like, the Giants want to work you out. So I'm like, I know, right? I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, what's up?
What the Powerball number is?
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's go to the gas station right now. I'm like, do this.
Yeah.
So I asked them if they can give me like a few more weeks, like just to, they didn't know how messed up I was. So I asked for a few more weeks to get right. So a few weeks comes, I fly out to New York. I go meet with the team doctor, because obviously I just had a knee injury. And what people don't know is I actually failed my physical when I went to the Giants, because he was able to move my knee like it was super loose. But I told myself, but I can run. Like, I've been running for the past 2 weeks. Like, I know I can. He was like, all right, well, it's still intact, so I'm not going to fully fail you on this, but it's still pretty loose. So I'm going to, put an asterisk next to it. So I went and worked out and ended up, I don't know how, on one leg, ran like a 4.57 on like one leg. And I ended up signing with the team. So as the season went on, just my knee just got worse and worse and worse. So literally my leg, like, neurologically just shut off. Like, there's nothing I could do about it. So when I signed to play for the Giants, you signed the waiver, meaning like if something happens to your leg, they're not responsible for it. I was like, whatever, I don't care. I just want to play. So towards the end of the season, the team doctors brought me in the room, and Ronnie Barnes and Byron, they were 2 leading the charge here. And they said, look, we're going to rip up this waiver. You need to get your knee fixed. They said, look, pick any surgeon, pick any rehab place, and we will pay for it. And so this now, like, I'm not on the team anymore, and I go and have surgery, boom, they take care of it. And this is also during the lockout in 2011. So I'm not on the team. I'm in California training, rehabbing, and I sent them every single bill, and they took care of it. So they paid every bill from January all the way to like August. And they did not have to, because I'm no longer a New York Giant. And so the GM at the time, Jerry Reese, is like, look, when you're ready, hit me up. And usually they say as a, cautionary, like, hey, being courteous, like, hey, you know what, if you're ready, just give me a call. I'm gonna call your ass, like, when I'm ready, like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, no, like that. Yeah, I'm dead serious. Hell yeah. So once I got ready, I felt good. I gave him a call in 2011, and he worked me out again. I didn't get signed the spot, but they ended up signing me a few weeks later. And then, like I said, the tough part is when I got released from Green Bay, that's the year they went and won the Super Bowl. And that was hard because I was there for the 4-year build. I knew the team was going to Super Bowl. Like, we all knew that it was happening this year. And so to go to New York and come back the next year and win it with them was pretty cool. And the big thing about that team, man, was we just had so many, I like to use like just adults. Like everybody was mature, and our team held everyone accountable. Like if you got a line, like you probably got beat up, because you were messing with everybody's plan. And it was pretty cool, man. It was really fun to be there, but just to go through all that, come back, and actually, like you mentioned, Green Bay was 15-1 that year when we went to Green Bay and beat them. So it was cool, man. It was such a, like, when I tell that story, I remind people like the emotions are the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. Like I'm in Green Bay, my contract year. I just need to stay healthy. I tear my ACL, right? And then I signed for 1.5. My wife is pregnant, and then I get released, and I lose all that, money. And then I go to the Giants, and then I get hurt again. I have to have another surgery, and then I end up going back to the Giants. I win the Super Bowl. Like it's like completely different levels of emotion. One is like devastation, like I don't want to talk to anybody, versus like, where is everybody? Let's have fun.